Okay, for my second career profile, the job I chose was a licensed clinical social worker, which last time I chose just a plain, I think, social worker, so I'm going a little more in depth and more specific. A clinical social worker concentrates on medical and public health issues, social aspects of health. The example organization that I chose was the National Association of Therapeutic School and Programs. It helps. It provides like little programs for young adults and adolescents, troubled teens. By providing wilderness programs, outdoor therapeutic programs, therapeutic schools, residential treatment schools, to get help as well as build upon them. They devote themselves to affecting and educating these young adults and these young people as well as their families. The career contact that I had was my brother-in-law's sister's husband, who owns his own clinic, and he is a licensed clinical social worker. So he was able to give me an insight on this field. The working environment for him is different than others since it is his own building. So he owns the Alpine Psychotherapy and Consulting. He controls his own office hours as well as how things are run as well. His typical work hours are Tuesday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. He also is on call. He provides his email, gives out his email for everyone who needs his clients if they have any questions, as well as he does have a phone line for crisis and emergencies that they can get a hold of him. He doesn't get those frequently, but occasionally he does get the crisis calls. Some typical stressors are having to deal with complex cases, such as suicidal clients, as well as clients with multiple personalities. You can only do so much kind of, but you put all you have into the work. You have to make sure that you manage the workflow, as the paperwork, the letters, the reports for courts and for yourself, and you have to deal with working the scheduling appointments. Everybody wants a specific time, but not everyone can have it, so you just kind of have to meet everyone's needs as best as possible. Some might not be met, but that's how it goes. Some typical benefits are just helping people. It's really rewarding, as well as being able to see the impact, the results of your work as well. You can change people's lives. You can make a difference. You can save a life, and that's pretty amazing. The pay as well is pretty good, which we'll talk about a little bit later. But it's also a great field. It's a much needed field, and so there's always job opportunities, as well as different branches you can go off of just social work, such as medical or drug abuse, and all these different ones that you can go into. So you can pick and choose, and there's many opportunities and open doors as well. Some common job tasks are just having to be constantly up to date with the training, because things are changing in the society, as well as methods and trends, and especially when you work with adolescents, you have to keep up to date with them and maybe what they're going through. You have to be very competent. You need to know your stuff, and which kind of goes into the training. Make sure you take good notes. He was saying that was really important. You got to make sure you take enough notes where you can refer back, remember what you had previously talked about in the previous session with your client as well. But you can't put too much into it. just in case it gets out, as well as like in court and stuff like that. The educational requirements are you have to have a master's degree. That's for sure. But you can also get bachelor's degree in other things. He specifically had a bachelor's degree in criminal justice, as well as a minor in psychology. He also is certified in clinical trauma, as well as certified therapist as well. He's got his full basic training in eye movement, desensitization, and reprocessing. So you can get as much as you want, and it just looks better. You know more. You have more coverage over everything. Especially like depending on the state, what state you work in, you have to go through their certifications, as well as the courses and maybe exams that you have to take according to that state in order to practice there. The starting salary range was $40,000 to $60,000. He said experience salary can range from $80,000 to $90,000, which that's pretty good, and can't complain about that. His salary, however, was quite a bit more, just because he took on a lot more clients, and he did 45 sessions a week. So if you're willing to do that, that increases your salary, especially that it's his own business, his own clinic, and a lot of that money also did go into the maintaining the building and rent and all that. Some miscellaneous career information that he had described to me as trying to specialize in something specific to give you an edge over everyone else. His was trauma, and since it's a very competitive field, getting one extra course or minor or something like that can make a big difference and give you an edge over the other whoever else is trying to go for your same position. It's a great needed career, and so he enjoys it, he loves it, and he says it's always you can always go into it. There's a lot of job opportunities, and it's just going to be a career that everyone kind of needs. It will never probably go away, as well as it's a growing. So that's great. And he's also said that there's a thing about being younger and working with adolescents. The younger you are, the more you can relate to the adolescents, and he said that they tend to open up a little bit more, and they tend to enjoy younger counselors or therapists and stuff. So I thought that was interesting. He also said get involved in a lot of clubs, Boys and Girls Club, as well as the wilderness programs, working with trouble teams to get your experience, and just see if you really enjoy it. He specifically worked in juvenile corrections as well as detention centers, and that gave him a variety of different problems that people might be facing, and so he got a bigger insight onto things. It's a hard career, it's a time-consuming one, but it's a well worth it, and I think that's what I want, and the more I look into it, the more I'm pretty sure, for sure this is probably what I'm going to do. And I love interviewing people to see their insight and get their view and get how it really is, rather than what people might just say it is. So that's my choice in career. Bye.